Hey everybody, back again for another tutorial. I'm going to talk about the back handspring. The back handspring, I honestly think is probably one of the most intricate tricks ever. Just because the most difficult process in the back handspring is the first part. And what I mean by first part is the jump into the handstand position. That is the first half of the back handspring. The second half is the handstand snap down. A lot of folks have trouble with the first part because they don't understand what they actually really need to do to go into that first part. So now I'm going to break down the first part even more. First part consists of the sit or athletic stance. So there's two. There's the athletic stance. For one, is the stance you go into when you bend and go into any trick. So athletic stance, for example, for a standing tuck, knees are bent, slightly bent, chest up. Your chest, your knees, and your toes should be in in line. So to the side, knees bent, chest up, everything's in one line. So then as I sit, everything goes straight up to the top and goes up in one direction. Ha, pun. So for the back handspring, you go into the athletic stance. But the difference between the back handspring and the back tuck is where you shift your weight. For a back tuck, you shift your weight onto your toes so you can push all the way through your toes and jump up through your center. For a back handspring, you want to rock back onto your heels. Your heels, doing so, is going to bring your weight backwards. So then you can already start your backwards momentum going backwards. What a lot of people have trouble doing is knowing how to actually shift your weight. One thing that I like to tell people that helps to shift their weight are their shoulders. Your shoulders bear weight, and so does your chest. So when you sit in your athletic stance, and then what I want you to do is widen your shoulders back. Literally, put your shoulders behind you because that's going to bring a lot of weight behind your spine. So from the side, shoulders go back. I already start drifting backwards. So definitely before you start your back handspring and to understand how to shift your weight, just go into your athletic stance, drop your shoulders back, and feel yourself already leaning backwards. Then from there's one thing that's very important. You need to keep your chin on a shelf. And you want to keep your chin on that shelf until you rock back and your arms reach your ears. A lot of people love throwing their head back because they're obviously maybe scared that the ground's going to move. The ground's not going to move. The ground's going to be there. The ground it's permanent. It's not going to move unless we get an earthquake or something. I don't know. But keep your chin still. Doing this is going to cause you to lurch forward. Well, lean forward, and it's going to possibly bring your knees forward. However, there are exceptions. I have seen people drop their head back and do a good back handspring. But what they do is that even though their head goes back, they're still shifting their weight backwards, giving them their backwards momentum. So then when they swing, they're already traveling. But a lot of people don't do that. When a lot of people throw their heads back, they love to go on their toes. They love going on their toes. Now, for tumbling, yes, you want to be on your toes, but for a back handspring, you don't want to be on your toes until you jump. Now, another very important factor. You don't jump until your arms reach your ears because you want to hit a handstand in the middle of your back handspring. So, I'm going to go over handstands. Handstands are the single most important position in the back handspring. Because if you can get to a solid handstand where your feet are either right above your hips and shoulders or slightly in front of it, you'll still be able to snap your feet down stronger and with ease. You want to make it easier on yourself, okay? Wait for your arms to reach your ears, then jump into your back handspring. Now during the jump, I'm going to emphasize using your hips. Hips are very good. You honestly want to imagine yourself rotating around your hips. Because if you can rotate around your hips, you'll be able to flip in place. if you watch a lot of experienced tumblers do like standing tucks, they're not rotating around their shoulders. They learn how to rotate around their hips. If you can get your hips higher than your shoulders, you're going to get maximum height. If you can use your shoulders to get height and then use your hips to get height at the same time, you're Jesus. All right, let's just put it that way. So like I said, hips, and then you bring your toes. A lot of people love bringing their toes because they're thinking, oh, okay, they're in their minds. They're like, okay, if I'm going to flip, I want to land on my feet. If I want to land on my feet, I got to bring my feet. Yes, you want to bring your feet, but if you do a back handspring, most people do the back handsprings like this. Their knees are bent, hips are out, chests are like this. They literally go into a handspring like this. They jump, and then they go into this position. It's a very ugly position, and it's also going to be very tough on your wrist because with your weight bearing in your hips, your weight is not distributed into your legs. So everything is in your torso area, so it's going to be a lot of weight and a lot of pressure. You don't want that. I already have bad wrists. Let's save your wrists, okay? When you swing into it, wait for your arms to hit the ears. Follow your hands. Right as you jump off the ground, you want to extend through your toes. And once you hit that extension, bring your hips. Now, a lot of people may not understand what I mean by bringing your hips, but here I'm going to try to explain it. So, when we stand normally, our hips are somewhat behind us because the way our spine is constructed. It's constructed to sit like this, so we're able to easily just sit down. So imagine yourself squeezing your butt in. See how my hips shifted forward? That's what you want to do. You want to shift your hips forward as you go into your back handspring. Because if you're in a handstand, your butt's not out like this. You should be nice and tight in line. So if you want to hit a handstand, your butt or hips cannot be out. They need to be in underneath you. Okay? That's very important. And then once you be able to use your hips, you will be able to lunge your toes over at the same time. So if you want it, so in sequence, athletic stance, swing, drop your shoulders back, keep your chin on the shelf, arms reach the ears, follow your hands back to the ground like you would do a back bend or back walkover, extend through your toes. If you point your toes, it'll help with straightening out your legs. Thrusting your hips in underneath you, so then you can hit a solid handstand. And once you hit that handstand, it's easy peasy from there. All you do is just snap your legs down and get your arms up. The reason why I just went so extensively into that first part is because that's the hardest part. If you can do the first part with ease, then the second part is cake. And if you want to be able to connect more tumbling skills to the back handspring, then that's a different story. But you always need to make sure that the first part of the back handspring is the best part. Because if you can make that the best part, then the rest of it's easy. You'll save yourself a lot of energy flipping over because you already have done the work at the beginning. And trust me, the way I'm explaining to you, the way you shift your shoulders back, the way you go heel to toe is going to help save a lot of energy. Tumbling, it's all about conservation. You need to be able to save your stamina and endurance for other connecting tricks. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate a back handspring. I'm only going to do it twice because my wrists are killer and it's grass and I don't want to kill myself. So, back handspring, I'm going to show it this way. Hopefully this grass is a bit even. Okay? And back handspring. Alright, I was that way. Now I'm going to go this way. So, review. Athletic stance. Knee bent slightly, chest up, shoulders back. Everything chest, knees, toes in line. Then when you sit, you drop your shoulders back, rock onto your heels. When you swing, wait for your arms to reach your ears. Follow your hands back. Right as your arms hit your ears, push through your toes and extend. Use your hips to bring your toes up. Hit that handstand position right in the middle. And snap it down as normal. So, if you have any questions or you need any advice or tips for improving or fixing your back handspring, message me at my email address in the description below. I will also post a link to the back tuck tutorial. So once you get used to the back handspring and you understand the arms, hip, toe sequence, then you can start trying back tucks. Alright, tumblers, trickers around the world, please practice safe. If you don't have mats or anything and you're just to the mercy of the grass, please be safe. Know your limitations, listen to your body, listen to your gut instinct. If you're more than willing to hurt yourself, please don't place responsibility on me. That is at your discretion. Alright? Peace out. Be safe.